Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna compare the pop culture toy market Pop Mart and Lego. So these two companies are not direct competitors since they operate in different categories within the toy market. Pop Mart mainly focuses on the collectible figures, especially blind box products, while Lego focus on the building sets like brick sets and creative play experiences. However, they still compete indirectly because they target similar consumer groups, especially younger consumers and collectors, and they're often sold in similar retail environments such as toy stores, bookstores, and lifestyle stores. And in particular, they compete for limited shelf space and consumer attention. Retailers have limited display areas, so they need to decide which products to prioritize. And in terms of market structure, both companies operate in a monopolistic competition market. That means there are many competitors, but each company differentiates itself through branding, product designing, and the customer experience. For example, like Pop Marts use blind box collectibles to create surprise and emotional engagement, while Lego focuses on the creativity and hands-on building experience, which creates a different type of value. And overall, even though they are not directly competing product to product, they still compete indirectly in the same market environment through the positioning and the retail presence. And when it comes to the differentiation, the pricing and consumer retention. So first, looking at differentiation, Pop Mart mainly use a blind box model, which creates uncertainty and excitement for consumers because customers do not know which figures they will receive. Many of them are encouraged to purchase multiple times in order to complete a full collection. So this creates a strong repeat purchase behavior. And another, the Pop Mart also focus heavily on trendy IPs and fast product cycles. They frequently launch new series, which helps them stay allied with current trends and maintain consumer interest. In terms of pricing, Pop Mart products are relatively affordable per unit, which lowers the barrier for first-time purchases. However, because of the collection model, customers often end up spending more over time, so they also use limited editions and rare items to create scarcity. This also increases urgency and encourages faster purchasing decisions. And for the consumer retention, Pop Mart relies on emotional attachment to characters and the psychological desire to complete a collection. This creates a continuous buying cycle. And in comparison, Lego differentiates itself through creativity and the building experience. So Lego products are known for the high quality, precision, and detailed design, and this also creates strong perceived value and customer satisfaction. Their pricing is higher compared to Pop Mart, but customers are willing to pay because they value the experience, the final product, and the brand reputation. And the Lego also works with long-term IP partnerships such as some movies, DC, Marvel, and well-known franchises, which help maintain long-term consumer engagement. And for retention, Lego focus more on brand loyalty and long-term engagement. Customers often, come back not because of urgency, but because they enjoy the building process and trust the brand. So even though their strategies are very different, both companies are effectively retaining consumers in their own ways, and they still compete indirectly through consumer preference and retail replacement. And when we look at strategy, Pop Mart actually focus more. Uh, Pop Mart mainly competes through fast product cycles and trend-driven demand. They frequently release new designs and limited editions to maintain excitement in the market. They also do officially license IP directly to, for example, Coca-Cola. Uh, this also allows them to quickly respond to trends and generate strong short-term sales. And their strategy is highly dynamic and depends on keeping consumers engaged through novelty and scarcity. On the other hand, Lego focus on the long-term brand building and product consistency. They invest heavily in quality, design, and user experience, which helps them create stable and predictable demand over time. So unlike Pop Mart, Lego is less dependent on short-term trends and more focused on building long-term trust with consumers, even though the two companies are not like direct competitors. Um, they still have very similar consumer groups and being present in similar retail channels, and they also complete the shelf space and the brand visibility, which are limited resources in physical retail environments. A retailer cannot display everything, so brands need to compete for placement. And from a pricing perspective, both companies rely more on the differentiation rather than the price competition, and they compete based on value, based on the experience or the brand identity. They do not strongly use limit pricing strategies because um, in a business, actually lowering the prices could weaken their brand positioning and reduce the uh, perceived value. So from a game theory perspective, uh, both companies avoid price wars. Of course, if they compete on price, both of them will lose profits. Instead, they focus on the differentiation to maintain the long-term profitability. So in a monopolistic competition market, both two companies are able to maintain pricing power because their products are unique and not easily replaceable. Yes, and that's all of my presentation. Thank you so much.